I didn't expect a marching band, but I never thought I'd be completely left out. It began with a group message from Mom: "Hey everyone, the final guest list for Caleb's graduation bash is set." She added, "Can't wait to celebrate with you all," like it was some big event. I scanned the names: cousins, family, friends, even distant relatives. But mine? Not there. I looked again, thinking maybe she'd just forgotten to tag me by mistake. Nope. Nothing. At first, I figured it had to be some kind of slip-up. I mean, I'm Caleb's sister. His older sister. The same sister who drove him to campus visits. The one who covered his rent when he was short. Who stayed up with him during his all-nighters, proofreading every page of his thesis because you're better at grammar than me. So I called her. Mom picked up with her usual cheerful tone. "Hey sweetheart, what's up?" Trying to stay calm, I said, "I didn't see my name on the party list." She hesitated. "Oh, yeah. Well, honey, Caleb wanted it to be more of a young crowd. You know, college friends, that sort of thing." Then she added, "We figured you'd understand." Understand? Understand what exactly? That my little brother could throw a major celebration and I wasn't even considered part of the circle? I stayed quiet, letting her talk through a mess of flimsy justifications. "It's nothing personal," she said eventually. "We just didn't want anything to feel awkward. With Sienna being there." Sienna. My ex-best friend. The one who hooked up with Caleb shortly after our friendship blew up. I hadn't spoken to her since that betrayal, and now she was not only welcome, she was a guest of honor? "Oh come on," Mom said when I didn't respond. "Don't turn this into a big deal. It's just a party." I hung up without saying another word. My hands were trembling. This wasn't just some random get-together. This was years of showing up, giving, helping, and suddenly being dropped the moment I stopped being useful. I'd always been the fixer. The dependable one. The family glue. But apparently, I only mattered when I had something to offer. And right then, something inside me broke. After the call ended, I just sat there, staring blankly at the wall. My thoughts were spinning, hurt, anger, disbelief all blurring together. I couldn't stop thinking about it. Caleb's graduation was a major life event, and I had been there for every part of it. And now that it was time to celebrate? I wasn't just left out, I was purposefully cut out. My own mother made it clear my presence was inconvenient. My feelings didn't matter as much as keeping Sienna comfortable. Sienna, who had betrayed me and somehow still had a permanent seat at the family table. And the more I thought about it, the more I saw the pattern. This wasn't the first time. Not even close. There were birthdays where no one sent me an invite. Family dinners I found out about after the fact. Phone calls that only came when someone needed a favor. And I always said yes. I always showed up. I always helped. And where did that get me? Nowhere. So I shut my laptop, stood up, and poured myself a glass of wine from the kitchen. I took a long sip, staring out at the city skyline as dusk rolled in. Then I grabbed my phone, opened a browser tab, and typed one word. Hawaii. It felt wild. Maybe even a little reckless. But it also felt freeing. If they could throw a party without me, I could start living without begging for a seat at their table. I wasn't about to sit home sulking while they clinked glasses with Sienna and pretended everything was fine. I booked a 5-night stay at a beachfront resort on the Big Island. Ocean views. Spa access. Infinity pool. All of it. I even splurged on a first-class ticket. For once, I wasn't cutting corners for someone else. I was choosing my own peace. As the confirmation emails hit my inbox, I let out a breath I didn't even know I'd been holding. Then I opened Instagram and posted a story, a screenshot of my flight confirmation with a caption that read, "Uninvited, but not unwanted. Island vibes, family drama." I wasn't looking for a response. But it didn't take long. Cousin Chloe replied with a laughing emoji. Okay, Queen, go off. My friend Elijah messaged me right after. Wait, what? They actually didn't invite you? That's seriously messed up. You deserve better. But the one reply that stopped me cold? Sienna. She slid into my DMs with, glad you found something to do. We didn't want drama anyway. I froze. My jaw locked so tight it hurt. She wasn't just okay with me being left out, she was happy about it. She was rubbing it in. And my family was letting her. I didn't respond. I didn't even block her. I just turned off my notifications, poured another glass of wine, and smiled. Because in that moment, I knew for sure, I was finally doing the right thing. The following morning, I packed my suitcase with a quiet kind of rebellion I hadn't felt in ages. Every swimsuit I tucked in, every flowy sundress I folded, it all felt like a bold statement. Like I was finally choosing myself. The airport was its usual chaotic self, but I moved through it like I was in my own bubble. Earbuds in, playlist turned up, sunglasses on to hide the exhaustion in my eyes. I boarded early and sank into my seat. It was leather, roomy and soft. First class. A little luxury I didn't feel guilty about. As the plane lifted off the runway, I looked out the window and watched the skyline disappear into the clouds. I wasn't running away. I was stepping into something better. Somewhere over the Pacific, I ordered a glass of champagne and snapped a quick photo, legs stretched out, drink in hand. I posted it with the caption, "Cheers to being cut off, and flying first class." I leaned back, finally feeling something I hadn't in what felt like forever, peace. By the time we touched down, my inbox was blowing up. Chloe again, okay, now I'm officially jealous. An old friend from high school, you look so unbothered. Seriously, teach me. Even Elijah came back with, you win. Let them have their party, you're living a whole life. I glanced at the message requests, curious. And sure enough, there she was, my mom. Where are you? Are you seriously skipping Caleb's graduation over this? No, I thought. I wasn't skipping it over this. I was skipping it because of this. I didn't bother replying. Outside the airport, a private car was already waiting. Cold water in the cup holders, fresh orchids on the seat, and the scent of salt and plumeria hanging in the air. It felt like the universe was patting me on the back. When I got to the resort, the concierge greeted me with a warm towel and a chilled cocktail. I was escorted to my suite, floor-to-ceiling windows facing a sea of turquoise. The bed looked like it was made of clouds. On the balcony, a hammock rocked gently in the breeze. I dropped my bags and walked straight outside, letting the warm air sink into my skin. I soaked it all in, the view, the calm, the feeling of being free. I took one more photo, this time of the ocean, and posted it with the caption. Left off the guest list. But not left out of joy. Let them see it. Let them feel what I had felt for years. Dismissed. Pushed aside. Forgotten. Only difference was, I had no regrets. The next morning, I woke up to soft sunlight filtering through gauzy curtains and the quiet crash of waves in the distance. For a few moments, I forgot. I forgot the tension, the betrayal, the sharp sting of being left out. All I could feel was peace, like the world still had softness in it. Then my phone buzzed. Once. Twice. Then a flood. At first, I ignored it. Probably more comments on my post. Maybe Chloe sending memes or Elijah cracking jokes again. But when I finally looked at the screen, I froze. Missed calls. Dozens. Mom. Caleb. Cousin Dylan. Aunt Valerie. Even Grandma. Texts, voicemails, more messages than I could keep up with. Wrapped in a hotel robe, I sat up and hesitated. Then I unlocked my phone. The first message was from Caleb. Can you please answer? It's bad. Then one from Mom. We need you. There's been a disaster. Disaster? My heart didn't drop from worry, it dropped from pure confusion. Then I saw Cousin Dylan's message. Harper, you dodged a bullet. That party was a disaster with a capital D. I blinked at the screen and felt the corners of my mouth twitch into a grin. I tapped to read the rest. Turns out, somewhere in the middle of the celebration, Caleb and Sienna got into a screaming match. Right in front of everyone. Caleb accused her of cheating, with someone from her office, no less. She denied it loudly, and things spiraled fast. Yelling. Crying. Drinks being thrown. People recording it all on their phones. At one point, Sienna slapped Caleb across the face and stormed off, with his car. But that wasn't even the worst of it. Aunt Valerie tried stepping in, slipped on the patio, and bruised her hip. Grandma, who never even wanted to be there, started crying and said the whole thing was cursed. Meanwhile, Mom was running around trying to salvage what was left. But it didn't matter, the venue shut down the open bar early thanks to all the chaos. I scrolled, wide-eyed and slightly amused. Then I saw the real kicker, a video. Caleb, clearly tipsy, stumbling up to the DJ booth and grabbing the mic. He slurred into it. Guess tonight's all about betrayal. So here's to fake friends, and faker family. The video cut out with him being pulled off stage. I laughed. Really laughed. For the first time in days. Not because I wanted to see him fall apart, but because this was the party they thought I'd ruin. The event I wasn't young or chill enough for. And they managed to tear it all down themselves. No help from me. A moment later, my phone rang again. It was Chloe. I answered, grinning. Let me guess, you're calling from the aftermath? She burst out laughing. Girl. It was straight up reality TV. You would have loved it, if you hadn't been uninvited. I chuckled. Alright, give me the recap. Don't leave out the juicy parts. Chloe didn't hold back. She gave me the full play-by-play, starting with Sienna snatching Caleb's car keys and disappearing into the night. Mom had apparently locked herself in a bathroom, sobbing. Uncle Martin and Aunt Valerie were pointing fingers at each other, arguing over who should have stepped in sooner. And Grandma? She was declaring that the family was cursed, betrayed from within, no less. Chloe laughed and said, pretty sure she was quoting you. I took a sip of my coffee, watching waves roll in from the most beautiful view I'd ever woken up to. Perfect, I said. Then Chloe dropped something that made me stop mid-sip. Oh, and by the way, people are saying none of this would have happened if you'd been there. I blinked. Wait, what? Yeah, she said, Aunt Valerie told your mom that you're usually the only one who can talk Caleb down when he starts spinning out. She paused, then added, and your mom said something like, maybe they should have invited you after all. I just stared at my screen. Let me get this straight. I wasn't invited because they thought I'd cause drama. And now, they're blaming the whole disaster on me not being there? Chloe snorted. Yup. Full circle, right? I leaned back into the lounge chair, letting the island breeze mess with my hair. I should have felt angry. Should have felt triumphant or smug or something. But all I felt was light. Like something had finally let go. They're planning some kind of family meeting when you get back, Chloe said. I let out a real laugh. Yeah, not a chance. Didn't think so, she replied, and I could hear the smile in her voice. You planning to stay out there longer? I didn't answer right away. I just looked out at the ocean, watching the waves curl in like they didn't have a care in the world. Then I opened a browser tab and typed in Hawaii Resort Extension. A few taps later, I'd booked another 5 nights. I posted one more photo, palm trees swaying beneath a spotless sky, and added a caption. Sometimes peace means choosing not to return. Let them fix their own mess. Let them hold their little meetings and whisper about bad luck and lost chances. They could talk themselves in circles for all I cared. Me? I was just getting started. That evening, the sun dipped below the edge of the ocean, setting the water on fire with shades of coral and gold. I was stretched out under a cabana, drink in hand, a mango cocktail with a ridiculous little umbrella that made me feel like royalty. The air was thick with the scent of hibiscus and salt. Somewhere nearby, soft ukulele music played like background magic. It was perfect. Then my phone buzzed again. I groaned and reached for it, already expecting more spam from blocked numbers. I'd already silenced Mom, Caleb, a handful of other relatives, yet their voicemails were still finding ways to slip through. I nearly tossed the phone into the sand, but curiosity got the better of me. This time it was a message from my cousin Jenna. "Okay, I know you're ignoring everyone, totally valid, but you're gonna want to hear this. Call me. You have to hear what Grandma said." Jenna wasn't the dramatic type. If she was reaching out, then something serious had gone down. I hit call. She answered instantly, voice low, like she was hiding behind a curtain. "You're actually calling me? Oh, thank God. You said Grandma had a moment?" I asked, smiling as I glanced around at the five-star paradise I was sitting in. "I think I'm in the right mood for this." Jenna was practically breathless. "Okay. So, after the party blew up, Sienna storming out, Caleb in tears, open bar shut down, your mom and Aunt Valerie started going at it." I raised a brow. "Over what?" "You," she said flatly. I sat up. "Come again?" "Yeah. Valerie told your mom that the whole disaster could have been avoided if you were there. Said you're the only one who knows how to calm Caleb when he goes off the rails." I nearly dropped my cocktail from laughing. So the same people who kicked me out are mad I wasn't there to clean up the mess? "It gets better," Jenna said. "Your mom told Valerie she was being ridiculous, and that's when Grandma stood up and shut them both down." Jenna took a dramatic breath and said, she raised one finger and said, and I quote, "This is what happens when you alienate family. The universe pays attention." I burst out laughing, loud enough that a couple walking by turned and smiled at me. "Oh, and she didn't stop there," Jenna continued. She added, "Maybe if you hadn't treated Harper like an outsider, Caleb wouldn't be sitting here alone right now." I stared at the ocean, a little stunned. "Grandma actually said that?" "She did," Jenna said, cracking up. "I think she was hoping you'd magically appear just to hit them with an 'I told you so.'" "That would have been legendary," I admitted. Jenna continued, "And just when things couldn't get worse, your mom tried calling the groom's family to smooth things over." "She didn't," I muttered. "Oh, she did," Jenna said. "And his mom said, 'This sounds like a personal problem,' and hung up." I nearly choked on my drink. "Oh my God." "Yup," Jenna said with a laugh. "The whole thing has been a slow-motion disaster. And somehow, every single person managed to forget that they're the ones who iced you out." I leaned back, eyes on the horizon. "You know what the best part is, Jenna?" "What?" "I don't care." She laughed so hard I had to hold the phone away from my ear. "That's exactly how it should be," she said. "I just figured you'd enjoy knowing karma came around, and she wore heels." I smiled, letting her words settle in like sunshine. "I appreciate it more than you know." There was a quiet beat, and then Jenna's voice softened. "You really did the right thing, Harper. I mean that. You didn't deserve any of what they put you through." "Thanks," I said, my voice steady. Because for the first time in a long, long time, I truly believed it too. I said it softly, almost to myself. "And I'm not going back. Not to patch things up. Not to smooth things over. They made their choice, and I'm respecting that." That's exactly what Jenna said too. "So, you're really staying longer?" she asked. "Yeah," I said. "Already added 5 extra days." Jenna gave a low whistle. "That's legendary." I laughed again, that warm, validating feeling spreading through me like sunshine on my skin. Let them deal with their drama-filled group chats and passive-aggressive get-togethers. Me? I've got a beachfront massage booked, and not a shred of guilt in sight. she chuckled. Live it up. And send me a pic of your breakfast tomorrow, I need to live through you for a bit. Deal, I said. We ended the call, and I just stood there for a moment, staring up at the sky. It had deepened into a rich blue, stars beginning to twinkle like shy little lights. I hadn't felt this light in years. No guilt clinging to my shoulders, no emotional weight passed off as family duty. I opened my phone one last time and peeked at the flood of notifications from the folks I'd blocked. Mom. Caleb. Even Sienna. I let out a little laugh under my breath. Then I posted one final photo for the night. My drink, perched against a glowing, moonlit ocean. The caption? They wanted me gone. So I stayed gone. Honestly? Best move I've ever made. I shut my phone off completely, waved down the server for another drink, and let the sound of waves wipe the slate clean. For once, I wasn't the one trying to fix everything. I wasn't the family's emotional punching bag. I wasn't the invisible one, just hoping someone would notice. I was something else now. I was free. The next morning, I woke to the hush of ocean waves and the sweet scent of plumeria drifting through the open balcony doors. I stretched beneath soft cotton sheets, feeling peaceful in a way that almost felt foreign. No dreams of family chaos. No tension in my chest. I hadn't woken up dreading the buzz of incoming texts or emotional obligations. Just stillness. Just calm. I reached for my phone on instinct, then paused. Part of me wanted to leave it off. But yeah, curiosity won. The notifications poured in as soon as the screen lit up. Even with most of them blocked, some still slipped through, like water sneaking under a tightly closed door. First up, Mom. You need to stop acting like a child and call me. This isn't funny anymore. Then Caleb. I can't believe you're doing this. You're my sister. We're supposed to be family. Another one came in from a number I didn't recognize, probably Aunt Valerie. We need to talk. This family needs healing before it's too late. I rolled my eyes and hit delete. Funny how fast the tone had shifted. One minute they were writing me off, the next, they were scrambling to pull me back in. It would have been funny if it wasn't so predictable. A week ago, I wasn't worth a seat at the table. Now? Now I was the missing piece in their little family show. Then a message popped up that made me pause. Jenna again. Just a heads up, your mom's trying to plan some kind of healing circle when you get back. Figured you'd want to know. I laughed out loud. Of course they were. Like I'd just come back, sit in some living room, nod while they threw around hollow apologies, and act like none of this ever happened. Like I'd be the bigger person. Again. Like I'd cover it all up, again. So I typed back. Thanks for the heads up, but I won't be there. Jenna replied immediately. Wait, what do you mean? I couldn't help but smile while I typed out the next part. I'm extending my trip. They wanted me gone? Well, now I'm making it official. I'm out, for good. I could practically picture her reaction, wide eyes, half shocked, half proud. A few seconds later, her reply came through. Okay, that's iconic. Tell me everything when you get back. Whenever that is. Still grinning, I popped open my laptop and pulled up the resort's site. A couple clicks later, my stay was extended by another full week. No family talks. No fake peace treaties. No more drama. Just real, solid peace. Before I hit the beach, I sent one last message into the group chat that had been muted for days. Oh, now you want me around? Sorry, I'm too busy enjoying my little overreaction. Good luck cleaning up your own messes. Then I blocked them all again. I tossed the phone back onto the bed, slipped on a sundress, and walked barefoot across the warm deck toward the shore. The breeze was soft against my skin. The sunlight turned the water into liquid gold. And for once, finally, there was nothing weighing me down. No guilt. No simmering resentment. No emotional knots in my chest. Just me. Whole. Unbothered. And finally, completely free.